Hello and welcome to Callisto's Live YouTube channel. Today we're just going to be going over some quick analysis. The monthly candle has just closed for the month of November, right? And now we're into December. So we're going to be taking a look at how this monthly candle has closed here on GJ, Euro USD, USD CHF and gold. Just a quick run through and what we can expect to see for the next month coming up, of course, which is December. Now, of course, before we get started, December can be one of those months, right, where things slow down. It is the holiday season. We have Christmas, we have New Year. Things can and have in the past slowed down a little bit to some extent, not all the time, but they can slow down, right? But with economic conditions, the way that the planet is at the moment in terms of economy, with recession, like looming recessions, right? Inflation, interest rates, wars going on, a lot of things happening in the world. Obviously COVID as well, these past couple of years, a lot of things are happening in the world at the moment, which is keeping the economy quite volatile, right? A lot of volume in there, a lot of volatility, because of all these news events, which is affecting the markets quite rapidly. So let's get into the monthly analysis and we'll see what has happened. So this is GJ, right? So this is the month that has just passed right here, this red candle. This is November, right? And what I can see kind of straight away is the fact that we did have this resistance, right? If we just drag this out, if you want to do bodies or if you want to do wicks, it doesn't really matter, right? There's the wicks and the bodies. So we can see we had this resistance from April, right? We were stabbed into it here once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, right? On the monthly perspective. So that's 4 months that price rejected this resistance. And then October, we had this nice clean bullish candle up, closed above that resistance, right? And then, of course, last month, November, we came down and tapped into here and rejected it, right? Which is key, which is what we want to look at, right? We rejected this level. We didn't close back below. We closed back above it. If you take the bodies of these candles, or like the average wicks, if you did that, we rejected it and we closed back above, right? So this month, what we can expect now that price is making a bottom wick for this new monthly candle. Of course, it is the first of the first day of the month. So what you can potentially expect is for price to come down and make a bottom wick. If this support level is going to hold and it is going to reject it, which November has potentially shown, right, with this rejection wick closure back above, this candle now could come down, right, dip down a little bit. Obviously this is around 150 pips so far. We can come down right into these previous monthly lows, right? As long as we don't break those at any point, then we can flip back bullish and we can come and fill some of these levels up top here, right? So what I would say for GJ going into this week, and of course, you know, going into December, is potentially look, right, for this bottom wick to be created. And then once it starts flipping bullish, right, you can expect price to then continue up and fill this range, fill this these candles up here and potentially continue, right? Because we have closed above that resistance now. Price is in an overall uptrend from, you know, March 2020 is when price kind of broke out, or you can say Feb 2021. But from this spike down here, March, we've gone on this uptrend, right? So yeah, what I would be looking for this month is for, on the monthly perspective, is for price here to create a bottom wick. As long as it doesn't break this previous monthly low at 163046, then we can expect price to eventually flip bullish and start driving up into these previous highs over here, and then potentially even continue above that, right? So that is the monthly outlook on GJ. If we just take a quick look at the daily, we can see these levels nice and clear. Looking at it from the daily perspective, right, it does seem bearish though. So we need to wait for some kind of bullish trending market to take place, right? Because if you take a quick look at the overall structure here, right, we have lows and then we have lower highs and then we have higher lows, right? And then price breaks out of these lower highs here and continues bullish. We have new higher lows, we have new higher highs, and we have new higher lows, right? Because that didn't break this level right here. You can see here, didn't break that previous lows. And then, right, we have lower highs at this point, right? So we failed to break the highs, and then it came down and broke these previous lows, right? Made new lows, and then we came back up. We didn't break these previous lower highs, right? We respected it, we rejected it, And now we've potentially created lower highs in here now to continue this bearish structure to the downside, right? Which is what it looks like on the daily perspective. I'm sorry if these drawings confuse you, but it's just simple bearish market structure here showing on the daily perspective on GJ, right? So yeah, what I was looking for this week was if price was going to break this level, right? But it didn't end up doing that. As you can see, it came up into this level and rejected it again here at this level right here. So now we've seen a sell-off, right? Rejection, a big bearish candle, rejection wick here, turn around, and now we're potentially going to continue down. But this could be, like I said, that monthly lower wick being created. And as long as we don't break these lows again down here at 163046, then we can potentially start to climb up, right? Which is what we can potentially look for. But monthly, like I said, monthly outlook looks bullish. But from the daily perspective here, we have started breaking that structure to the downside. Like I said, creating lower highs and lower lows, lower highs right in here. So now you can potentially expect price to come down. And if it does break this, then you can expect this bearish momentum to continue. And then we reassess from there, right? But if it comes down, doesn't break this low, right? Starts rejecting in here and then starts trending to the upside. That would make sense from the monthly perspective as well. And then we can start seeing that turnaround from the daily, weekly, lower time frames. And we can look for our positions for buys there on GJ. So that's GJ. Let's have a look at Euro USD. So we can see last month, right? If we just mark out, right, this market structure on the monthly time frame, right? So what do we have here? We have lower highs, right? And we have lower lows, lower lows, lower lows. And then we have higher lows, right? So the price started climbing. Now price started stepping to the upside. And then we had this candle, right? November, which closed very strong bullish, right? Above 1, 2, 3, and broke 4 previous monthly lower high wicks. So you can potentially say now that Euro USD, right, has found kind of its bottom right here. And we're going to start seeing some retracement here on the euro dollar, potentially, right? Potentially. We can start to see a climb back up into some of these levels for some retracement. But what I would like to see is, again, a nice bottom wick create here from the monthly perspective first, right? So you want to see price drive down a little bit, right? Create like a really nice bottom wick and then flip bullish eventually and start driving back to the upside. So there's not really much structure from the monthly perspective, but if we do look at the weekly, right, we can see that Euro USD does have this level, which will be very interesting. It is Thursday. We have 1 day left, well, today and Friday, to see if this weekly candle is going to close above this level, right? It'll be very interesting to see, because this level is a very key level here on Euro USD, right? We had support over here for 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks, right? And then price broke it. And look, price came back up, retested it in here with one rejection wick, literally from the weekly perspective, just spiked into there once, reversed, and then price dropped all the way down here. From the weekly perspective, that's a massive move, right? This is like 630 pips. So you can see prices came back to that level. We had a very nice rejection in there from this weekly perspective. And then we drove down, broke below those lows, and then we came up, right, closed bullish. And now what is being created here, right? You can see from the weekly perspective, we have lows and we have higher lows and we have highs. And now we have higher highs here on the weekly, right? So from the weekly perspective, it's starting to step up. And we're starting to see that bullish structure come in. Of course, there was a lot of news last night on the euro and the dollar. As we can see in here, right? Some news here on the dollar. All pretty decent news. But what affected the dollar most was Fed Chair Powell speech, and he was talking a lot about that they're going to continue to raise inflation rates or interest rates, things like that. So it wasn't, in the end, that did affect the dollar negatively, and which then obviously drove Euro USD up right here. You can see, looking at the 1 hour, this resistance looks messy, right? Because we've had breaks above, breaks above, breaks above, breaks above, but it keeps coming back below, right? Price needs to sustain above this level, and we need a closure above this level here, potentially on the weekly, and then we can seriously start to look at some upside here on Euro USD, right? So key level there on Euro USD, one that we need to 100% watch. But like I said, we do want to see some downside here from the monthly perspective, right? We want to see a monthly bottom wick come in, right? Come down, get those nice retracements in from the monthly perspective, and then we want to flip bullish, right? But of course, we haven't done that yet. If we look at the monthly, you can see there's not really a bottom wick here. Not necessarily saying that there needs to be one. You can see right over here, there wasn't a top wick as price continued to drive down. Same over here, right? No, not really a top wick when price drove down. So, you know, we don't necessarily have to have much of a bottom wick, but it would be nice to see. It would give me more confidence in taking those buys. So yeah, that's the monthly outlook on Euro USD here, right? We can see yet last month, strong bullish engulfing candle, right? Closing right back above, breaking 1, 2, 3, 4 previous monthly lower high wicks. And then also on the weekly, we've got that potential closure above this key level here on Euro USD. So all eyes on how this weekly candle closes in around about 2 days, 1 day and 18 hours. This will be very key to see where Euro USD goes from here, right? So all eyes on that. So overall, bullish on Euro USD from the monthly, weekly perspective, as long as we get closures above this level. And if we reject and start coming down and we close back below this level, then we could see short-term sell-off, right? To obviously, again, make that monthly bottom wick. We could drive down and then potentially start driving back up. But again, we need to take into consideration that December, January, they can be fairly slow in terms of volume volatility, right? So we just need to keep that in mind. So that's Euro USD. Let's take a look at USD CHF on the monthly perspective. And see how last month closed. And we can see right here, this is last month's candle. Very strong, right? Very strong bearish candle right there. So what happened was price came up and kind of, you can see these levels right here, tapped back into these levels, right? Did break them, but couldn't close above them, rejected them. And now last month candle has come down, breaking this previous monthly candle. You can see right here, right? What we had was lows, lower highs, higher lows, higher lows, higher lows, higher highs, higher highs, higher highs, right? So the market was creating that uptrend, right? From the monthly perspective since August, right? We've been in this uptrend, right? So now what has happened is price in this one monthly candle has just absolutely collapsed, right? And broke all those higher lows, broke all that bullish structure, and now created this, you know, massive bullish engulfing, bearish engulfing candle from the monthly perspective, breaking all those previous bullish trend levels. So now again, what can we expect? We can expect price to pull back here on the USD CHF, create a top wick from the monthly perspective, right? We just want it to drive up a little bit, create a nice top wick, and then we want to see it driving down, breaking this previous monthly low right here. And if we take a look on the weekly, what we can see as well is this level right here, right? From where this, where that uptrend started, right? Dipped down, and then ever since we tapped into this level, we continued in that uptrend structure. And then, of course, then we came back down to it, rejected once, twice, 3 times, potentially 4 times here on the weekly. So again, key is what happens when this weekly candle closes, right? If price, if USD continues to sell off over the next couple days, Thursday and Friday, and we get a closure below this level, then again, what we can expect for the rest of the month potentially, or at least for the first week or 2 of December, we can expect for USD CHF to continue selling off here below these levels, potentially down into some of these levels right here. But of course, we just need to wait and see what happens there. Key level again on USD CHF, just like on Euro USD, right? Key level right here, right? We had this support here, we came down and we're starting to bounce, right? If we have a look on the daily perspective at this level, and we can see that, you can see these clear rejections once, twice. So if price fails to break below this and we see a bottom wick here on the monthly and we start to see it bounce again, then we could see some movement to the upside on USD CHF to retrace, right? To fill some of this move down, right? Retrace some of this move down. And then we can reassess from there and go again. But points in the market structure from the daily that obviously haven't been broken, right, is obviously this level right here. This level right here. So we can see that price was in an uptrend, right, which we figured out before, right? Higher lows, higher lows, higher lows, and then price got broke to the downside. And now we've created lower highs here at this point, right? So this is the point in the market. I'm not going to count this point because price didn't come down right here and break these previous lows, right? We've made a lower high, but then we've come down and we've made a higher low, but then we still haven't broke out of these highs. So it's kind of, it's ranging at the moment. No market structure. It's consolidating. It's going sideways. It's ranging, whatever you want to call it. Until we break these lows or we break these highs, then there's not really much we can do here on USD CHF. We just need to wait and see how this weekly candle closes, and then we'll go from there. But from the monthly, right, it looks bearish. Don't tell me my mouse has just run out. Hello. My mouse battery has just run out. Have I got? Happy holidays. Oh no, it hasn't. There we go. It just froze for a second. Sorry about that. The battery is running low. So I thought it just died. I need to change that soon. So yeah, monthly perspective, you can't argue with that, right? It looks bearish, right? After this huge bearish engulfing candle, right? Breaking all previous bullish structure. I don't know if it broke previous highs, did it? I don't think it did. It literally tapped off previous monthly highs there. You see that? Didn't break it, just tapped off it to perfection. And then broke all previous lows. So yeah, that is USD CHF, right? Consolidating. We can see clearly at this point it is consolidating, and that could also change with NFP, right? We have NFP on front here, NFP, and also unemployment rate for the USD. So that could be that could determine the outcome of USD pairs right here, right? Whether USD now starts to trend bullish if we get some good data on some high impact news, right? USD could start gaining some strength, and we could start seeing these pairs start trending, right, in a certain way. Or if it's negative data, right, we can start see it trending to the downside, right? So we just need to wait and see again how these weekly candles close and how what kind of news we get, what kind of data we get here for all this news on the USD, and if it starts to make the dollar gain some strength again, right, from these levels, because it would make sense. Key levels, right, bouncing off it, prices failing to break below, but obviously, price can't hold here forever. At some point it's either going to break or price is going to break to the upside, so we need to be ready for one of those. So yeah, monthly outlook on USD CHF looks bearish, and now we're waiting for weekly closures, same on Euro USD, to see what happens here, and then we can reassess from there. Looking at gold, again, gold looks similar to Euro USD, right? Because obviously USD pairs, right, we see this massive bearish engulfing candle, we see this big sell-off. Of course, then pairs paired against it, like gold, like Euro USD, you're going to start seeing some strength, right? So that's why we saw this strength. And again, on gold, what did we have? Lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, right? Even though this one obviously didn't get tapped, but we've broken out of this bearish structure now, right? We've broken, you can see that price created lower highs, 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 lower highs. Price was creating this downward structure, right? These lower highs from April, right? And gold has been trending to the downside since then with all this lower highs market structure from the monthly perspective, right? So now what has happened, we've broke out of it. And I don't think you can see we spiked down here, boom, boom, and we didn't break that low, right? We were just bouncing off it right there, right? We were just bouncing off this level, boom, boom, boom. and we have then engulfed these previous 2 monthly highs and 2 monthly candles, right? So again, what can we expect? What I want to look for is a bottom wick to be created here at some point from the monthly perspective, and then we want to see price start driving up, right? So again, what could that mean? From the weekly, it does look very nice. It looks like it's made that move up, and it's already made its pullback. It's created a support for it to then continue bullish, right? If we look from the weekly perspective, we've got this level right here. You can see price has pretty much tapped into that already over here from November potentially, right? This spike into it right here, rejection, close bearish, and now price is finding support here, has created some kind of support, right? Boom, and now it's starting to move up again. So again, what I want to see is we can see this this support right here is beautiful, right? From that low, from that monthly low, price just bounced. Boom, 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 and now we've seen that move to the upside. So I'm just gonna make this cleaner because I just need to look at that. So yeah, we want to see that we definitely want to see a bottom wick create on the monthly. So we could short term, right, come in for another tap of this level, and then you might start seeing a sell off here on gold, right? Even if we come back down into this level right here, right? If we come back down into this level, price retraces, right? Comes back down into this level. That will be a decent, you know, what would that be, like 400 pip bottom wick from the monthly perspective, which would be, you know, which would be decent. So we could come back down into here, right? Not break this structure because this is bullish market structure now. At this point, we broke out of the highs, right? If you take a look at the daily, we got lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, and then boom, price breaks out of it, right? And we've created a higher low at this point now, right in here, right? So that is a higher low for price to continue to the upside. But of course, looking at the monthly price, whether it happens early on or whether it happens, you see price push up, right? Spike up, and then you see price start coming down to create that monthly wick, and then towards the end of the month, we might recover again and start turning bullish. These kind of things happen, but I do want to see that monthly wick happen before we potentially look at buys. Monthly bottom wick, that is. That's of course looking from the monthly perspective, long term. So yeah, gold definitely bullish, waiting for that pullback to create the bottom wick potentially into this area, for then price to bounce potentially and continue bullish at that point, right? We want to see that trending market happen again. So yeah, that is all pairs, right? GJ went over that. Euro USD, USD CHF, and gold. That is my outlook for those for the coming month of December, and let's see how it plays out. I will definitely be making videos reciting this once the month is over to see what my analysis was like when December finishes. That'll be interesting. So yeah, like I said, I am a day trader. I do like to analyze monthly candles and how they close and what that could mean for the next month, but I am mainly a day trader, right? So what I wouldn't be necessarily looking at this bigger picture when I'm day trading, but I will have my eye on it as things happen in the month, right? So of course I will be live tonight. Well, I'll be live in around about 2 hours on YouTube, doing some pre-market, pre-London, pre-New York market analysis, right? And I'll be looking for some day trades, some scalps coming up, and of course that analysis will be slightly different to the monthly outlook, but I'm not looking to catch any big moves from the monthly time frame. I am a day trader. I do look to catch moves that happen during that specific day. I get in and I get out, right? So that is the end of the video. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see how this month pans out. We'll see how December pans out, whether we have a slow December or whether we have a a fairly decent December in terms of volume and volatility, right? I have looked back at previous Decembers. Some of them are decent, and some of them are very slow. So we'll just wait and see. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next video, or I'll see you on tonight or any other night during my live streams. Peace.